Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December the 13th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and we are looking at a PPI number that gave us a little bit of a fade and then a move higher. This is relentless buying. And so here are the setups today. Dips remain buy zones. We had a fairly shallow dip really yesterday and stayed above the close of the prior day most of the time. Same sort of thing today. Look, see the long shadows? That means buyers are very attentive to seeing if they can come in when the chart starts stabilizing. So where is that number today? It could be as high as 464 even, or it could be as low as 462, right? But the pullbacks are definitely buy zones. What do you want to focus on? Where am I with respect to the prior day? So let's take a peek at that. Let's look at this area right here at the close, and that is 464.72. That's we're a few pennies above. That's going to be the line in the sand. The moment we lose that level, if you're looking for a long, you need to step back and watch for the price action to hold that zone, and then you can move from there in whatever direction that you choose. Today's an FOMC day. I don't know that Powell loves this chatter, right? That's been going on in the market in terms of saying, hey, listen, he's going to roll over. It's going to be dovish. They're going to have 4 interest rate moves to the downside, and people are just getting in front of that, right? I really believe the traders have just gotten ahead of themselves, and they're just going to run it until it doesn't work anymore. So why don't we do the same thing? Let's just follow the money. Realize that volume continues to taper off. It's the holiday season, and this is why. All right, so let's just look at that. Pullbacks or buy zones. Ideally, I'd really like to see this one. Come in and touch at the 462 area, jockey around, and then move to the north. I am not going to trade today. I'm going to study today because the last 3 FOMC meetings that I have traded, I literally just traded terribly. And by terribly, I mean I ended the day giving back everything that I spent all day long with all kinds of mental power. Just what a waste, right? So I'm not doing it. I'm studying today. I'm going to look at some more entries for us. If you're on the Benzinga Pro platform, we're going to be looking at a few more things rotationally, and we'll go from there. All right. So going to be super light. I'll call out some levels, and I'm going to remind myself over and over again that I do not need to trade on a day like today. Just going to give it a rest. Okay. So now let's look at the Qs. Now we have a number, 399.04 is actually the opening. Is 3? Yeah, it's the open of this candlestick right here, this January 2022 candlestick. Here we are. It took an entire year to go up into the space, and you can see why timing really matters here. If you'd gotten in here, you'd be flat. If you'd gotten in anywhere along this fade, you'd be in much better shape, right? So that looks very nice. Now, what hasn't happened is the retest of the flag, and that's really, it happens sometimes. It just barrels right off. Traditionally, it will come back, but again, look at this. Bullish, that's green, this is green. Our ribbons are very bullish, so it tells us continually that pullbacks are buy zones. But the Fed could come out and be very, very firm on what they're thinking needs to happen with interest rates, and we just want to be super cognizant of that. All right, so we have the levels, 402 next line in the sand, and then 408, right? But how about we wait for the pullbacks and trade those? Okay. All right, let's go to the ES. Contract roll is, okay, they don't have the contract roll yet. All right, so here we are in the March contract, and this triggered for us yesterday midday, the breakout up over 46.85. Now where's next? Let's have a peek. 46.85 baseline event. From a monthly perspective, we have 47.50 way above there, but there's this number, 47.35, and then the open of this number, which is 47.61. So we've got some upside pressure that could build into that region. It's very, very aggressively upward at this juncture. And so pullbacks will be buy zones. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over this bug. Here we are at pretty sideways, right? Look at that. With PPI coming out, 4,700.50 is probably going to be the line in the sand for us to watch. We lose that area, 46.85 becomes more legitimate for us to bounce off of old resistance, new support. Breakaways could run because sellers might throw in the towel and say, you know what, I'm just going to start buying. And so there's about 35 points to the north that we easily could get through, especially if things start moving. The markets have been moving very, very dramatically. Ideally, pullbacks or buy zones. Here's the first area you want to watch, 46.85. Okay, now we have, wow, take a gander at that. Qs are on fire. Holy smokes. Man. So 520, kind of a big deal yesterday. Traders spent a lot of time between 520 and 530. The breach of 530 brought in brand new buyers. Let's see if the test of this zone gives us what we're looking for, right? In terms of, hey, listen, can we bounce off of pulling back in this region? Here's the thing. If it pulls back and holds this 596 area, 16,596, it's still upward, right? And notice, if I hold the floor and continue to make new highs, I'm going to start making higher lows, and it's going to break to the north, okay? This is a holding pattern that says buyers are coming in and they're pushing on the ceiling here, and they're not willing to open up the floor. So that is a really pretty place that you would say, hey, listen, I want to buy the pullbacks, all right? I don't know what price action is going to look like today. I have to tell you that in my experience trading years and years and years and years, trading around the FOMC can be very difficult, okay? And so I just want you to be cautious of that. Very interestingly, now you guys know that I have 67 as my low bounce area, but shy of that at 68, traders came in last night, end of the day, and said, I think I'm going to try long. And so what do? One, here's frontline resistance, right? One, we fail to head lower. Two, we break resistance. So on the 4-hour formation, this area here, 68.75, is the resistance zone. As we came into the zone, tried to sell off, moved up above. If it breaks out up over this area right here, what it tells us is that, one, we could potentially see a pullback, which I expect because everybody is short and trying to pick a bottom, and so they're caught and they really want to get out of the trade. So if it moves in that general direction, pulls back and tests this 68.76, might be a good long that takes us back into the range and pulls up. Although I expect to see 67, a lot of buyers came in right around this edge, so they're going to try and bounce. If it pulls back, pulls 68.75, breaches 69.50, it'll test 70, right? That's what the traders will do. They will cycle in, but, you know, interestingly, this is about 70 cents higher than where I thought it would come into as a support zone. All right, that's it for me, everyone. I will see you on the platforms. Good luck trading and stay frosty. Watch your size.